My cell phone service has got a data plan that includes unlimited as long as I'm using Wi-Fi. And on the road, that's kind of a problem. Finding Wi-Fi and being parked close enough to receive it. As you remember, I have another video on installing the Wi-Fi antenna on the top of the motorhome. Well, that's kind of limited in what it can do. It's fine receiving, transmitting. It can pick up lots of stations, more than my cell phone can. So if I'm trying to use my cell phone features in my motorhome, I'm kind of limited to what I can do, cheap at least. So I've come up with a different plan. Well, I've come up with an addition to my current Wi-Fi system. And this is what it's going to be.
Here's a diagram of my Wi-Fi system. On the left is the BearExtender antenna that is on the roof of the RV. In the middle is my 12-volt DC computer. And on the right is the Panda wireless dual-band USB Wi-Fi adapter. This is the network device in Windows. On the left is the wired LAN port. It's not being used. In the center is the active network connection from the BearExtender antenna. Note the card number. That'll be important later. On the right is the virtual network driver that is always shown as active. This is installed with the BearExtender. On this screen, I have plugged in the Panda wireless USB adapter. Note the card number. As a side note, installing the USB adapter driver should be done before the BearExtender antenna driver. In this case, I just had to reinstall it afterwards. After downloading Virtual Router Plus, it's time to install. This is the opening screen. Click Next. Virtual Router Plus is free shareware, so you'll probably discover several screens like this one. You have the option of installing the sponsored software or declining them. I graciously declined at this time. The next screen is where some thumb twiddling comes in. Just sit back and let your mind drift through this installation step. Yet another installation step. Click Next. On this screen, you can read the agreement and either accept or decline. I accepted, of course. This screen asks if you want to install a program in the default location or use a user-specific location. Since I don't have a special computer setup, I clicked Next. Okay, everything has been accepted, and now it's time to install the software. I clicked Next. And here's another thumb twiddling moment. This one takes a little bit longer. And now Virtual Router Plus is installed. Time to run it and do some personalization. Shown here is the default settings. Naturally, I changed a few things. I changed the network name to something more appropriate. It shouldn't be too obvious to anyone searching Wi-Fi hotspots. Nothing in uppercase or clever. It should be something simple and cryptic. Or not. And of course, I used a password that's a bit more difficult to guess than the one shown. And a password I wouldn't forget. When this is done, the network will be what is shown when connecting to it, and the password will be required to accept the connection. Now the shared connection setting is left as is. I won't be using the wired network connection. Well, that's it for setting up the software. Now for setting up the hardware. I've highlighted the network device that needs to be changed. This is the BearExtender Wi-Fi antenna, best identified by the card number mentioned before. So, we right-click on the BearExtender device and select Properties. Now under the Sharing tab, click the checkbox to share, and on the drop-down field, select the card number of the USB Wi-Fi adapter, identified by the card number that I mentioned before. This is not the same as the BearExtender though. Now click OK and close the screen. It's probably best to reboot just to make sure it all works. So now I can open up my cell phone settings and select my own personal Wi-Fi network to use as I please. This also means I can connect to other personal Wi-Fi devices like a printer. I suppose I could also install a Bluetooth adapter and expand my personal RV network, but that's a decision I'll have to make later if needed. So if you have a similar setup, feel free to let me know if this worked for you.